On Saturday, August the 12th, I met up with my old friend Rich Hoffman, State Director for the Mutual UFO Network in Madison, Alabama. He was telling me about this very promising case involving Customs Border Patrol in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, back in April 2013, that actually observed a UFO, videotaped it using an infrared camera, and it was also picked up on radar blips. He'll be talking about this case on August 27th in Orlando, Florida, at the 2016 MUFON Symposium.
This was April 25th. At about 9 o'clock in the evening, there was a set of radar returns that were being picked up, about 40 actually blips on the radar just northwest of the airport. Following that, about the time that, just a matter of minutes later after that whole 40-minute clip of radar took place, you have a Customs and Border Protection aircraft flying. They were flying off and taking off at the Aguadilla airport. It's actually the Rafael Hernandez airport. They're taking off towards the east, and as they start their climb, the pilot happened to look over and see a pinkish red light that was actually coming in from that general direction where the blips were, and it was moving toward the airport. And they were quite concerned, and they contacted the control tower and basically said, well, why is this aircraft up there? I thought we were cleared for takeoff, and there shouldn't have been anything up there. So the control tower said that they see the pink light, and as well as the people on the aircraft as well. Well, they circled around because they were wanting to keep their eye on this thing, being a border protection thing. They thought it might have been even a plane. It might have been doing some smuggling kind of thing. Because what happened was, as they were circling around it in a counterclockwise direction, the light went out. It just went dark. And that got to be very suspicious. So now they don't know where it's at. But fortunately, they had a thermal imaging camera on board. And so the pilot radioed back to the guy in the back of the aircraft to turn on the thermal imaging camera. And they began recording a 3-minute and 54-second clip of an object, and they could watch on their displays of that object. And they realized that it was not a plane. They didn't know what it was, and it basically came in and circled around the airport, made a big loop. There was a FedEx flight 56 that was, no, it's 58, I think, that they held from taking off while this object was doing its maneuvering. And then what you have is a situation where they were still tracking on, and then they watched as the object itself, after it circled the airport, then heads back out to about the same spot where it came in, and it goes into the water. They see it go into the water, and they then can see it moving underneath the water, and they are tracking that. And you can see that with the image of this video. Anyway, then you suddenly see it coming up out of the water, and it gets really, really dark. And it gets, this is thermal imaging, by the way. Dark means it's hot. It got really, really hot, and it basically then splits into two identically shaped and sized objects that are now moving along the water. And then you see the one kind of veering off of it, away from it, and then he goes into the water. And then this one that was the original one is left there, and it then slows down, and it also goes in the water, and then you lose track of it. Well, that's the video clip. That's what that was about.
Right.
And I'm on a team that basically went and spent 2 years investigating that whole thing.